My own created songs always have that abrupt cut. One of these days, chat. One of these days. Let's see here. We need some good old fashioned cola. I'm just kidding. We need some. We need some musics. Let's see here. Hmm. I'm thinking. I'm thinking, chat. Let me think here for a second, man. Hmm. Oof. I just can't. Oof. I can't think right now. Let me see. That drive. Those of you that are in the Discord, you saw me take that picture. That drive was very bad. It was not a fun time driving 25 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone because there's a blizzard. It's kind of scary. Let's see here. I guess today could be a relaxing SNES day, right? Probably pretty good. Until we get banned. Probably on YouTube. Let's see how this looks. Hey, yo. Well, I don't have my game running. Well, I mean, I do, but... Nit. Get out of here. Hello? Hello? Oh, shit. Mamma mia. I forgot to do the thing. Hey, yo. There we go. Now you can't see the window light. Creeping in. Dun. Breath of Fire music. Dun, 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 dun. How you guys doing on this Wednesday? The first official Creative Works Wednesday at that. Yeah, right now there's a blizzard going on outside. I don't know if I'm gonna be driving into work tomorrow. It's pretty bad out there. On today's agenda, though, of the game, the Gama, gonna be looking at. Oh, I'll probably have to download WinDiff. Hang on. I do not have WinDiff on this machine yet for silly reasons, I guess. Let's see here. But hopefully everybody has a good time just hanging out and chilling while I pretend to know what the hell I'm doing with game dev stuff. Yeah. Until we get out a viable demo, at least for you guys, a nice little slice at the beginning of the game so you guys can start playing it. I'm thinking I need to do today's main agenda is I got to fix the battle system. Enemies are targeting characters correctly, but the damage is always being applied to the character in the first slot. So it tells me something's broken, but that only happens on my main branch. It's not happening on my branch that's on my MacBook Air that I take to work sometimes. Well, actually, I just leave it in my backpack.
Yeah, you got a MacBook?
Yeah, I also have like 8 Windows laptops. Hell, we're streaming from a laptop right now, a Windows laptop. Granted, it's a $3,000 laptop I bought last year. But yeah. But I mean, I can literally charge my MacBook Air with the M4, and that sucker will go on for like almost 3 weeks without me needing to plug it back in. So yeah, I need to get some. I think I need to get WinDiff. Let's see here. WinDiff. Pretty sure that's what I need. No. That's for checking your shit. WinMerge? Is that WinMerge? Prepare full files and folders. I think that's what we want, right? Check source code. Yes. Okay. So let me go ahead. I don't think I have it here. WinMerge. Also, shoutouts to SimCity on Super Nintendo. Always let me know if I can turn the music up or turn it back down or all that good stuff. Feel free to ask any questions, make fun of me, all that good stuff today. I guess we're gonna go ahead and install this. Ew, SourceForge. There's a lot of nasty things you can get off of SourceForge. Be careful sometimes. But yeah, hopefully you guys are having a great Wednesday regardless. I think I effed up and ate something I shouldn't have, which was a donut, because I bought donuts for everybody at work today, and I had a couple cups of coffee, actually a cup and a half of coffee. And about 2 hours after having that, man, I was not having a good time. It felt like I was super anxious, and I had to get up and do some walking and shit. Maybe I am like pre-diabetic or some garbage. I don't know at this point. Nobody tells me anything anyway. My doctor doesn't know shit. Anyway, so we're installing WinMerge. I'm going to fire up the MacBook here in a second. Download some scripts. Well, not download, I should say. Put it onto my USB thumb drive. All right, get out of here. WinMerge website. Okay, so you guys are seeing the whole process. So we have the MacBook Air, which I got this thing in like a battle armor or some shit. I think I paid like $20 for this, and she has been in there for a long time. Well, I got this in October. Hey yo, you guys like? Probably not. You guys probably hate. Got a cover over the keyboard, all that good stuff. So yeah, I kind of take this thing with me to work, do stuff on it during my free time when nothing's really going on. Screenshots code. I mean, you'd be screenshotting my CSV that determines monster balance and... Or no, this is spells. So this is how spells are looked up. Intelligence, base modifiers, base power, MP cost. Yeah, buddy. Use it as a riot shield. So I'm just going to plug in a little USB-C hub. Plug in a thumb drive. And then grab my source off of that. Let's see here. Allow it to connect. Yes. There's my thumb drive. Ooh, blank thumb drive. Okay, so now I need to, I believe, go to my documents. No, I need to go to my top level. Let's see here. And then scripts, I believe, is really all I need here. I don't need to download the whole project. So let's go ahead and copy that. And then open this. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing because I'm on the Mac. Paste item. And then once that finishes, I can unplug it from there, plug it into my other hub that's plugged into our main machine, and get stuff rolling here. Okay, let's eject, please. No, don't erase. Holy shit. Wrong thing. Eject. Fabulous. All right, that was easy. Not exactly a fast USB-C hub, but it gets the job done. So I'm not even going to tell this thing to sleep. I'm just going to close her down. Put it back over here. Alrighty. And then we can plug it into here somewhere. But where? Where do we plug it in at? Shit, I'm severely lacking for USB ports, which is kind of sad. Give me a second here. Actually, I think I can just plug it into this. Yeah, we'll unplug a external drive I have plugged in. Boot it. All right, everybody, check your computer. It's something unplugged. Hey, chat, want to see something cringe? We'll go double hat duty today. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't even trend that. Alright, so that's plugged in. Let's go ahead and grab our scripts. Actually, I think I can just open each one, right? So let's try this WinMerge thing. WinMerge. Holy F word, it's huge and bright. Alright, let me open first file is you guys still can't see what I'm doing yet, and it's fine. We're getting there. This PC, users, mothership, documents. Yes, and then scripts. I think we're gonna start with the battle controller or battle system, excuse me. Yeah, battle system, and then we go to the thumb drive. This PC. New volume. You gonna speed run a game dev? Hey, I mean, you could. Fastest game in the West. All right, compare. Okay. And then I will add this window for you guys to see. Window capture. WinMerge. Select a window. WinMerge. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, there's nothing incriminating here, I don't feel like. All right, there you go. So, it's bright. Basically, I need to go through here and check out what's different. That doesn't matter. Okay, we don't want to mess with that. So this is our main branch. And then off to the right is what I've done on the MacBook. Hang on, I'm gonna... Holy shit, that is blinding my eyes. I'm going to, there's gotta be a dark mode. Dark mode? Please, dark mode. Somebody help me! There's gotta be a dark mode. I've never used WinMerge, I just know it's a thing. Toolbar? Toolbar. Bro doesn't even know how to use WinMerge. What a fake gamer. And game developer. Select font? No, that just actually changes the font quite literally. Options. Options. Level up. Colors. Color schemes. There we go. Holy, I can see now. Thank God. Okay, now that I'm not being blinded, we can look through the source code now. So you require brightness? Hell no. I tell you what, $100 will turn white mode back on. There you go. Man's got to draw the line somewhere. Holy shit. Okay, this is called upon starting battle. Force it. That's still the same. Okay, this is just a comment. Now we need to determine growth points, add in enemies in the turn order. So there's nothing different here. Interesting. Okay. So the problem is not in the battle system. Where is the problem then? Because these are literally the same except for growth points, which growth points is what your characters use to gain skills off of the equipped souls they have. Shit. Well then, that's not the problem. Let's go for... the next thing then would be... Look at all my scripts, chat. You guys like that shit? Turn action controller. Okay. Turn action controller. You guys are seeing the stuff, the nitty gritty, maybe. Okay, turn action controller. Compare. All the way at the bottom. Spell name, spell name. Spell and spell name. Oh. So I have an old copy of that. Crap. Okay. Well, then if that's working fine, let's just hide that window for a second. Let's look into our stuff here. Let me just push that way. Push that a little bit that way. Okay. We're going to look for... So in the battle system, we're going to have to walk through this, okay? I think you guys should be able to read that fine, right? If not, I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so basically, we have initialize the battle state, take player input, check next, wait for damage. Target is human. So we need temporary as a character slot. Target is the target hit to array. So targets to hit array. Okay, wait for damage. Give me a second. So here we're waiting to receive damage from, you know, an action, whether it be a spell or a basic attack. And this could be from, okay, so this is when we're attacking monsters, and then this is when humans are being targeted, which is the, you know, the player characters. If item is in string, iterator. Okay. So the target is a human. Int, integer. Okay, so basically, we need this targ. Targ gets set. So we have targ. Jesus, I have a lot of matches. Holy shit. All right. Match case. That'll probably be better. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Excuse me. So basically, we need to get targ as character slot. Targ for T and targets. Shake. Okay. Here's what's happening. The problem is, I'll show you guys real quick. Let's see here. That means we're gonna play the game, chat. You guys ready to see the game in all of its glory? Let's pause the music real quick here. I think we can just jump in. Let's see here. I don't want to be a total dumbass. I think we can just jump in straight into here. Let's see. Maybe. We're opening the window. Okay. So here's the game in all of its glory. Okay. Let's equip the soul. Very good. Equip the soul. And equip the soul. And then we need to go into battle, because the problem is that it doesn't matter what character. Hey, thanks, dude. It doesn't matter which character is being attacked. For some reason, the character in slot 1, which is this guy, the main character, seems to be the one taking damage. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, and we have our skills and all that good stuff. Okay. Oh, let's get into a battle. Come on, somebody pop up. There we go. Let's just go ahead and defend. And then 4th slot is still open for some reason. I'll have to fix that too. That's on today's list. Sleepy Sheet takes a swing at Hikari, so it should be top right. Okay, well, she took damage correctly. Did I fix it and forgot I fixed it? Oh, I wonder if it might just be the boss. It might be the boss fight. Okay, well, they took damage like they're supposed to. So that's not the problem. So I guess we'll just have to rush to the boss. There's no cap on MP right now, so you can use MP as much as you want on the main character. So you guys get to see the cool spells. Little water splash. And he's dead. and he's sad because he's about to die. So this battle system takes a lot of inspiration from the classic Shin Megami Tensei games, and then a little bit of Earthbound with it. There's no battle music yet either. Just sound effects. I focus more on art and getting things done. The monsters have been defeated. Yay! HP growth, or I should say XP growth and growth points. Alright, so we're just going to run to the boss. We can go ahead and make a save here. Save our game. Yep. And you can see a big, huge thing. Here, I'll show you guys. See that right there? That is the entire game data saved as a giant JSON file, if you know what JSON is. I figured it's perfectly fine to get things going. But yeah, all your encounters are very Earthbound-like. So if we walk around, we'll trigger enemies to spawn. It's not perfect by any means. So like we haven't seen anybody because they probably spawned out of the play area. And we can confirm that they're spawning by looking down here. And it shows that there should be mobs created, but they're either, you know, out of view or they spawned onto a solid tile. So it definitely needs work. Like there's a little guy right there. I say little, but it's a big worm. Okay. I don't have it encrypted yet. I don't really care about that yet. But people do that. You can also do databases. A lot of people use SQLite for that now as well. Big water damage. The waterfall spell. You guys like that? We need... This should be... lightning. Yeah, I mean, you can just make a database, save everything into a light database, and reload it that way, too. If you like the more relational key value kind of stuff. Well, I mean, if you're just used to databases. I know a little bit. Enough to pretend like I know things. This should be the lightning spell. Yeah. Hit everything spell. There we go. Like I said, my MP doesn't matter. It's going to go into the negative. We just got to go kind of, like I said, rush to the boss. Woohoo! Now, in theory, if I have this programmed already... So, see, she's already learning 2 skills here. And then Yui is also learning 2 skills. You guys like that? Nichan, which is, you know, main character, he's already has all of these. And you can also look into that. Oh, we don't have items, excuse me. Kelpie, blah, 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 blah. So, technically, if we did another battle, both female supporting, well, not supporting, but they're part of the main cast, but they should also have spells. I don't think I showed that off last time either. Oh, well, we're getting another battle regardless. Oh, it's only one guy, though. That's not fun. Uh-oh, something's broke. I broke it. No was not found in the dictionary. Oh, my God. He literally chose... Shit. We have to reload. Dude, the Mad Maggot chose a 1% chance to do something that I don't have programmed yet. That's on me. That's actually on me. Holy crap, chat. The 1% chance to cast a spell, and I never gave him the spell. Alright, let's just rush to the boss. Fake programmer putting stuff in the game without actually doing stuff. Ooh, what was that for? Oh, there's another bug, for whatever reason. Oh, walked right into him. Okay, so let's just blast through this. I forget what the spell is. I want to say it's poison. I think that's what I gave him was a poison spell. I actually made this guy in art, in paint.net, I just kept drawing circles. Like I looked at art of oh shit, what is it? There's a uh the hoo hoo grub? I think it's the hoo hoo grub. I just looked at pictures of the hoo hoo grub, which I think is a New Zealand thing. And then I just like looked at a bunch of pictures and I just started drawing circles, and then I just like you draw 3D cubes on paper. I did the same thing. I just did it with circles. Oh, we don't have any souls equipped. My bad. Shit, you don't do that here. Status. Yay, change. There we go. Give you a different one than last time. And the fonts can always change at any given time in development as well. Okay, so like I said, we're trying to rush to the first boss of the game, because I think that's where the problem is with targeting. I've already confirmed it's working fine with normal mobs, but for some reason it did not work during boss fight. Oh, I got an empty block here I need to fix. Okay, let's just avoid. Avoid. Okay, we got away from the worm. So yeah, if you want to avoid encounters in this game, you literally just don't walk into them, kind of a thing. All right, we have a cutscene coming up, so we'll have to sit through that before the boss fight. So you guys get to see my dialogue system I programmed in Godot. We can speed up by pressing space. Goes a little bit quicker. Let's see. There's a lot of dialogue early in the game, so that'll probably put some people off, and I understand that. But I am trying to tell a story with the game. So, all right, first boss fight. Let us, I guess, attack. We need to see her attack somebody other than character in slot 1. Yes, ma'am. C tier swings at Yui, so down here should take damage. Well, she took damage. What the shit? Did I fix it? Chat, did I fix it and forgot? No, that's still got to be a bug somewhere. Streamer's losing it, man. All right, let's see if healing... What the hell was that? Let's see if healing works. I think I have healing working. Right, if you defend on slot 3, it still wants to do slot 4. Okay, we can fix that. Okay, she's technically dead. I wonder if she'll be healed even though she's technically dead. Oh, that font was awful. Oh, there you go. So healing does work, but it shouldn't work on her because she's dead. Alright, that's fine. Let's just drop some water on her ass. Damn, she really doesn't like Yui at all. Have mercy. Alright, drop that waterfall. That all uses a particle system, by the way. Godot's particle systems. That's how I decided to do my spells. Alright, so she should be gone. Very good. Holy F word, we leveled up too. Either I didn't gain any HP or I didn't get healed. I think main character didn't get HP. Damn. Sucks to be you, bro. Alright. So then we're back here. Although this character should be looking down and not up. That's another little glitch. Not really glitch. I guess it's just a failure to change things. Let's see. So after this, it either repeats or... let's see here. Okay, cool. So yeah, this just repeats, which is fine. That's where I kind of left off there. So I guess I don't have to worry about targeting, which is good. However, we need to fix defend. Let's see here. I believe it is the battle character? No. Battle shit. Chat, when you make too many scripts, you can get lost very quickly. Battle skill menu. Okay. So it's not that. Decision menu? No. Oh, here we go. So if we do choose act dot emit. Choose act. Okay, so I need to figure out who the hell who the hell has that? Who receives that? Shit. I believe. God, I need to start commenting my code too. When you got like 10 bajillion lines of code, chat, don't do this like me. Battle top level. Okay, choose act. Decision menu close, opening act menu. Open actions menu. Jesus Christ. This is also what I get for not looking at my own game for a long time. Decision menu. Okay. Right, left, we don't care. Accept. Clear buttons. Clear buttons. So basically, I need to find, and I don't think it's there, is it? No, you can't look it up that way. Shit. Who is messaging me? Get out of here. Okay, I just got 2 messages, chat. All right, is it one of you blowing up my phone? You guys are blowing up my phone. No, it's not you guys. Action menu. Okay, this is it right here. Choose defense. Okay, so yeah, that's the prop. My phone, man. Oh, we can turn the music back on. That way you guys don't just hear my awesome voice. There we go. So, the problem we have is that when we are choosing defend, I'm going to start commenting my code while I'm here. And then there should be a thing here. Return control, open actions. Okay. Oh my lord. My phone is getting blown up, chat. Okay. Sorry. I think it's because everybody's on the blizzard right now. All right, so on defend, this is our current character, okay? The problem is, this is what I forgot to add. I think if we just add this, we're ready to rock and roll. That's the problem. Yeah, it's not checking to make sure that there's a character in slot 3. Because you start at slot 0, 1, 2, and 3. So there's your 4 characters. And number 4 is not included. So you always got to think from a starting spot of 0. So let's just go ahead and save. And then if we rerun this. It always goes on the... Oh, that's one thing to fix one of these days too, is putting it on the main monitor. Okay, so if we choose defend now on Yui, who's in bottom left corner. Okay, so problem solved. That was pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. Very good. I'm just thinking right now, what's the next thing we can work on? Bum 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 ba-dum. We could go to... Oh, right. Healing spells. Let's see here. I want to say I put that in global functions. I did not. Global? Load monster actions, convert time. There's a lot of stuff here I have in global. Spell elements, spell data, inventory data, XP data, soul data, save location, stills. All right. So we need calculate heal output. Dun, 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 dun. So what we're going to do is pretty simple, actually. We can do this classic Final Fantasy style, which that means that... Okay, here's the thing. So my HP system, the health system in this game, is like Earthbound. When you take a hit, you don't immediately just have that amount subtracted from your health. It literally counts down by 1. So in theory, if you heal your friendly character before your HP gets to 0, you can prevent going down. I have not personally tested it yet. So oh man, how are we gonna do that? Because healing works the same way. It counts up. Oh man, I just I think I created a dilemma. Here's the dilemma. HP can go to 0. So the way it works is you have 2 values. You have drawn HP and actual HP. When actual HP deviates, okay? When it deviates from your drawn HP, like say it's lower, now drawn HP, there's a controller for it, goes, oh hey, I need to lower my on-screen numeric HP values down to the actual real HP. So while the HP is counting down, you can still technically take either more damage or get healed. I don't have it, or how should I say this? Damage is hard capped so that you can't go below 0. So in theory, and I'm not 100% sure. If you guys are big into Earthbound, you can let me know. I've only played it a few times. I came close to being in it once, but I never actually did finish it. I think I came closer to finishing Earthbound 0 than I did regular Earthbound. So while you're counting down, no matter how hard of a hit you take, as long as you're still counting down, if you get healed, it should start counting back up, I believe. Or does Earthbound take into effect? Like let's say you have 500 HP, okay? Let's get a window up here or something. Here, I'll show you guys the window of my my paint.net here. Window capture paint.net. All right, window paint.net. And there we go. Cool. Booyah. Here's my paint.net window, chat. Okay. So you guys see that. Let's shrink her down here. Okay, so here's the thought process. So we have, let me choose a color. So we have, say we have, you know, 5, okay, that's a very small brush. 500 HP, okay? And you take a hit, let's say for 300. So instantaneously, so this is instant, okay? We're just gonna put, that's not how you do instant. Instant, there you go. So this is instant, right? However, so this is the actual HP, which then equals out to 200. So this is instantaneous when you take a hit, or if you cause a hit to an enemy, doesn't matter. Well, actually, Actually, I take that back. Enemies don't get the free heal ability. Only the players do. We just won't talk about that. Okay, so at this time... Thank you. So at this time, you are then, per tick, going to basically have -1. So now you're at 499. And then another -1. So 498. And then this just keeps going, ... Okay? So that's how this is drawn. Your characters actually faint when drawn HP equals 0. Faint at 0. Okay? So you have time here then to heal. The problem is even at 0 HP, you're still able to heal. So I need to find where in my code to determine the faint. And then, so here's our current mission. Find code to prevent heals. God, you guys like my mouse writing? Here, I'll get real fancy. Let me get lots of space here. I'll show you guys how I write in real life. Heals. Well, it looks better than this, but heals at 0. I'm not going to do that. People are like, what the hell? That's hieroglyphic. Prevent heals at 0 HP. That is our current mission. Okay? So let's get on to it. So we can do this here. We could literally just heals are influenced by the caster's intelligence, and well, I didn't do any of that yet, but that's fine. We can sneak in the code here that if the receiver, if receiver.int drawn HP, just to be safe, equal to 0, okay, then heal amount will always be 0. This prevents you... I'm going to put a comment in here. Current way to prevent healing a dead character needs to be expanded upon if using a full revive skill / item. Or a revive item in general. Okay. So this is just like our placeholder here. Okay. So we're going to return that. Let's see here. Check HP value. So if we're at 0, okay, this is the next thing we need to do. We need to test to make sure we can't do anything at 0 HP. So we're going to save this for now. I don't think there's anything else to do here. There's not. Okay. So we have that. And now we need turn action text controller. We have the skills, send message, clear turn action text. Okay. I think that gets sent here. Again, I have a lot of code. So, for state of 1, it does not loop. So once we get done, there's our damage numbers, okay? So this is what tells the game to do damage numbers, create action prefab, all that good shit. Player attack indicator. Okay, so that would be on, give me a second here, spell alpha heal, which is the starting heal. So we emit out the send heal numbers from here. So I'm just kind of walking you guys through how this goes. So you're in the battle menu, okay, and you pick a skill, and the skill could be, you know, heal, alpha fire, beta lightning, omega lightning. You know, you could be choosing attack, you could be choosing defend. In this case, what's going to happen is the character's action is already loaded here at the turn action text. So basically, at this point, right here, we need to check if we have an action prefab, which in this case, so this is what shows up on the top of the screen and goes, character whoever is going to do action. It could be attack, it could be the spell name, and then after that, and then it needs to check if there is a prefab. In this case, this is waiting for the player attack indicator, which that's the box that goes down towards the enemies. Animate monster attack indicator as it comes out like at you, or I should say it comes toward the character screen. And then it sends the damage numbers. Which again, I need to add in stuff. But here's a check action prefab. So we're doing the attacks as a player. It turns on the box that zooms down into the screen, or zooms down towards the enemy. We don't have Sting as a spell yet. I don't have to worry about that. So here. So if the skill is this is where we're looking through our spell dictionary. So I have a dictionary of spells that get stored on game load, making sure that we're a human. And then we're going to connect sending damage numbers to our object battle controller. So that's where this all happens here. We send the damage numbers through the battle controller, which then calls our global function to then calculate damage and stuff based on player attack and enemy armor. Okay, whatever that just was. Here, now we want to do a healing spell, okay? So we're going to preload the spell. So it says make sure the spell string from index 1 is in the spell dictionary. So we're looking in the dictionary, make sure we have the spell. We do. Okay, is the acting character a human? Yes. Okay, and then we're going to preload this resource, which in this case is our particles. So like how I showed you guys, like spells are all particle systems. It's just a prefab. If you guys know Unity, prefab's a word that gets used a lot. I reuse it for Godot. I think people might call it something different in Godot. I just like the word prefab. Basically, it's our cookie cutter. You can think about like like baking cookies. So we're basically taking our spell cookie cutter, and it's a very specific one. And then here, we're instantiating it. We're stamping out a cookie here. So we need to instantiate. So here, what this does is first, we're attempting to load the resource out of the dictionary, putting it into a var spell pre. And then we want to make sure that we actually got something out of this dictionary. If not, we failed. And that's where we print into the, the console down here. Hey, we failed to initiate the spell prefab. All right, well, that means something went wrong, and now we need to figure out what the hell went wrong. However, if all things go good, we're going to instantiate, which is the, creating that particle effect. In this case, if we do have a spell and everything was created right, we're then going to check to see if it changes the battle background. That's only happens when, for like big spells, so like the lightning spell caused the background to like fade and get dark and everything. That's pretty cool. So here, our acting character, well, we're setting the spell. The spell has an attacker, even though we're casting human player to human player. We have to have somebody performing the actual cast. Let's see. The avatar to child spell was. I think I actually fixed this. I don't think I had a problem. So then this is now where we position the oh, I think the healing spell will always hit Yui. All right, let's put that on the. Let's check that right now. We're gonna check that right now. I think the healing spell always hits Yui, because position 2 should always. Well, if I'm reading the right index, I might be looking at the wrong thing as an index. Let's just verify right now. Give me a spell, not a spell, a battle. There we go. Cool. Act, skill. Actually, hang on. We're not going to get healed by that, but let's see what happens. -2. Unless it does work. I got to fix that, though. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that then. Okay, so we are choosing the right thing. I'm going to put this down here. This appears to be working correctly. I think I have dementia, chat. I forgot that I fixed so much stuff. All right, so we add it there. Send heal numbers. Okay, so now we go back to the battle controller, and this is the function here. Emit out a signal back to the battle controller script. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we go back to the battle controller. There's a reason why I'm going through this, because we're cutting down to the perfect spot to where if a player has 0 HP, that either you can't target them, or we can do the Final Fantasy route, like the you're gonna learn Godot. Hey, I think it's pretty simple, man. 3D gets a little interesting, but 2D, I think Godot is perfect for 2D. And I've done 3D stuff in Godot as well. It just has a bit more of a learning curve than Unity does, in my opinion. So what we're going to do here is we got to go back to the battle controller, because we're looking for, I'm going to sound like a broken record, we're looking for what we need to do when a healing spell is cast on another party member, but that party member is already at 0 HP. Yes. Which also adds in the question, do we pull, let's see here. Do we pull this, new layer acquired. No, do that, and then do this, and then do that. Do that. So here's the next question. Do we pull a Final Fantasy style ATB pause? Now there is no ATB in my game, because it's all old school style. The monsters preload their actions, the players preload their actions, okay? And then the turn order then gets taken. The turns are then performed based on agility rolls, pretty much. Your agility stats plus your luck stat. But there's RNG wiggle there. So if we do this, that means that we then pause. HP changes when menuing. When menu. There you go. When menu, smiley face. Okay. So this would, in theory, give the player a chance to, how can I say it? Choose to heal a character quickly. But Earthbound doesn't do that. Your numbers still count down or count up while stuff is happening. If memory serves. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So we may not do this. So then that leads into this. Do we just, okay, so then do we make heals fail at 0, which means you're trying to take that risk. You could look at it like risk reward, actually. You're trying to get off a heal spell while your teammate's dying. If you fail, then nothing happens. Modern Final Fantasy games, when you cast a heal on a character that's suddenly dead, like say you're the ATB, the monster just pulled off, monster pulled off a hit after you already queued your heal, it usually just picks another random party member. Old Final Fantasy just goes, nothing happened or ineffective or whatever. I think we should kind of go the old route where this happens. The heals will just fail completely. There's no pop-up for it yet. So there's no like player A or character A heals character B for plus whatever number of heals, right? It just does it next to their face. It just goes plus 100 for now until I actually code the proper thing. I feel like this could be the way to do it because it's risk versus reward. Do you risk popping out the heal while your character is taking damage, kind of a thing? And I kind of like that idea. It adds a little bit of strategy and difficulty to the game. Whereas if we pause it, that makes the game easier. Much easier. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. Yeah, I think that makes sense to do it that way. So, so now we need to go to the battle controller. So let's go there. Script battle. Oh my god, it's battle system. Do this. Healing spell was called from the turn action text controller. Very good. Targets to hit clear, number output clear. We have our attacker, which is the character actually casting the healing spell. We're going to get the target. Well, first we got to split the character's action. So all the actions are strings, and I use, colon, semicolon, whatever the hell you want to call it. That guy. Sorry, I can't brain right now. We use this guy as our separator instead of a comma because I might do something down the road where something has a comma in it. So then down in our output, we're going to say which character is going to cast the healing spell and what action they're performing. This confirms that we're actually casting a healing spell, okay? 0 is yourself, 1 is the spell, 2 is the target, which is a key used in global characters as the cast target. So we're splitting our action string. Target, so our target should be, in this case, when we healed Yui last time, she was in slot 2. Therefore, it is a string of 2. So our target, this is a string. So we can do this string. At least in theory, that's what it should be. Then we print that out. So then we're going to go through our spells. Get our spell int type. If it's 2, which is a healing spell, so this passes. Sorry if this I want to add comments. So we are passing or checking a string of a number. Oh no, we're not. Excuse me. Checking a string key in the spell dictionary. Okay. So that's what we're doing here. Also, did somebody resub? My sub number just went up, but Streamlabs didn't see it. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you. So we're pulling our spell. and we need to make sure there's actually an instance of a spell. A spell is just a, it's not a prefab. It is a instance of a class of spell, and class spell holds like damage numbers and spell power and all that good stuff. The description of the spell. So a healing spell should always be 2. I did say that 3 we're gonna cure everybody later, so that's not in the game yet. You can't do party cures yet, or heals, whatever you want to call it. We need to verify that we are hitting a human character. So our target that we're gonna hit is gonna be appended with a clone of the character that's in the like global character dictionary or whatever. Heal output. The heal output from global, which is here, will always in fact return a positive value. We could literally just do this if we wanted to, technically. That. It doesn't really matter. We can leave it as it is. So we're going back to the battle system. Let's see here. So here's what we need to decide to do from a game design perspective. If the character is dead, that is here in the target's array, do we... trying to think of how I want to do this. Numbers output, append, set this to negative right. Wait for damage. So, okay, so let's go into a battle, and then we're going to look at our output down here so that I know where the hell I'm going to put this code. That's why it's good to put things in your output log. Okay, so we just need to get into a battle real quick. Give me a battle, give me a battle, give me a battle, give me a battle. Give me a battle. Come on. Oh, man. Give me a battle. For the love of all that is holy, chat, we need a battle. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oops. Okay, so if we target somebody, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, like, down here we can see Hickory is going to defend. A character defended properly. So, okay. Pause. Let's look at our output here. So, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I can't zoom in either. Sorry. So, Hickory, or Hikari, she defended. She properly defended. And you can see that I have, you know, lines in the turn action controller and all that. Well, text action, text controller, and battle system. Main character is going to do an action of self heal alpha 1. In this case, he is the caster, or in this case, the attacker. He is the attacker. He is doing the spell that is heal alpha, which then looks into the spell dictionary to see what, you know, pull out all of its attack, spell damage modifiers and all that good stuff, and then his target, which in this case is character slot 1. So the avatar to child, the spell 2 is 1. So the avatar in this case is literally talking about the picture, because we need to cast the little spell effect on that avatar, that picture, and then there's the location of said prefab. So a healing spell was called, and then this is now the battle system going through the turn order, okay? And here, the battle system is saying, hey, the main character has an action, and then their full action string is this, self-heal alpha 1. I know there's a lot of redundancy in here, but it helps me figure out what's going on after I code, because I'm the type of idiot, I'll write like 100 lines of code and then go, oh, what the fuck's going on? Don't do that. So now we have it split up into an array of strings. Object, blah, 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 is at line 670, which that is right here. So we have print debugged our target, which if we were to now then technically step somewhere here. No, I may have to set a breakpoint. Nasty language syntax? I mean, it's just GD script. It's the same. It's very similar to like a combination of JavaScript and Python. I mean, I'm fine working with it. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm a C# guy. I prefer C# the most out of everything. That's me. Oh, wait, you guys can't even see. I'm sorry. The game is still up in the way. Shit, my bad. Let's get that out of here then. My bad. Hang on. Shit, I didn't even realize I was doing that. My bad. So yeah, my bad. So this is our output log. I'm sorry that I was doing that. I can't believe I made that mistake. I have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so the spell type was 2. That means a heal spell was chosen. That was put here. So there's our output. We are targets to hit array. So our only target is whoever's in slot 1, which is that object right there. The reason why I'm walking through it like this is we can end up adding in a spot here for 3. I can literally just add this code right now as a filler. So if we were to do a heal all spell, we could literally do this. Any open XCOM? No, but it was kind of planned where once an enemy gets below HP thresholds, their weighted actions will shift, if that makes sense. So the weights will start shifting. So in this case, we could literally do this. We could do a 4 item in global dot characters. Excuse me. Which this should be a dictionary. Very good. Which these are just going to be keys, by the way. So item should be a string in this case. So then we need to do var targ, or actually here, let's do player target equal to global. Here, I'll make this easier for us. For key equal to global dot characters key. So that should literally pull that out as a CL character slot. Should. So we're pulling out a copy of that. Target is a character slot as well. So now we can just do this. We can do targets to hit array dot append, and then we're going to clone the player target. The reason why we're cloning the player target instead of just directly modifying anything is for that reason. If we make a mistake anywhere along the way, we're only modifying a clone. And any changes we do to that clone, we then verify, and then those changes then get applied to the original. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. It's kind of it's a safer way, in my opinion. Yes, it technically takes more CPU cycles. However, this is a 2D game. This is not the 90s. This is not the 2000s. This is not the 2010s. This is the 2020s. All right? It's not that bad to do that. So in this case, a transaction.commit. Did I? I may have. My brain's in one-dimensional mode right now. I'm sorry. So we have our targets to hit array. So we need to append our array. And then we do numbers output, which is another array. I mean, I can literally just copy this. I don't know why I'm typing this all out. Snow total? Last I checked, we were at 5 inches or something. That's when I got home, like 4 or 5. So we're gonna put that there. So we have two things going on. We have try. So we have two arrays. The targets we want to hit with our healing spell, and then the amount that the healing spell does to each target. And then for fun, we could literally just do this, print debug. Actually, we'll just do this. We'll do that, and do this here as well. Okay, so we're gonna output a couple things here. One is so if we ever do a heal all spell, this right here that we see output here should instead be filled with up to 4 characters. Okay. The next thing I need to do here though is we're gonna wrap this in an if. Ooh. The problem is though, is if we check if they're at HP 0 and it's a full party revive, that's gonna be awkward. I'll have to add in a case check for that. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is if player target. So first we need to make sure we have an instance. So make sure there is an instance of the CL character slot. Okay, so we have that. Let's go ahead and tab. So if there's a player target, and if player target dot int drawn HP is greater than 0, now we can do all this. Easy peasy. You guys like that? Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So that is taken care of there. Next thing we need to do is battle skill menu. Let's go to hang on. We need to check we need to open the sub menu. Right, the healing menu. So if we're choosing 2, which is a healing spell, we have to open up the pointy finger menu to actually choose our target. Hopefully that makes sense. So now we're selecting the target. Update finger is true. Check targeting input. Yeah. Where's my update finger input? Oh. Update finger visible. Okay. So when we are hitting enter, give me a second here. So if action is just pressed, UI accept, there's where we choose ourself, our skill array, and our selector index. Okay. We need to add a check in here somewhere. So what I'm doing in here now is we need to add a check so that if we're trying to cast a normal heal spell, we cannot choose a dead target. Does that make sense? I mean, I guess if you want to be kind of dark about it, you could throw healing spells at something that's dead, right? That's kind of grim, but let's see here. So we're doing UI accept. Selecting target equals true. Update finger visible is true. Select character. Okay, so update finger visible. Finger visible. We are making it true, right? Right. So we're here. Now we need to open the sub menu. Where did I do that? I don't even know where I did that. What? Hang on. Where the hell did I do that? Selecting target equals true. Oh, okay. Check input. My bad. So we're selecting target. If check targeting input. Okay, now we're here. Aha. So we need to then. Okay, this is where we're gonna do this. All right, I think this is the perfect spot. If we need the selector index. If selector index, which is an integer, right? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do var string selector index equal to selector index, because we're actually doing an integer. So it goes 0 is top left, 1 is top right, 2 is bottom left, 3 is bottom right. Those because we only have 4 playable characters. So we're using this right here, right? So what we now need to do then, as string, okay, what we need to do now is we need to var potential character to heal equal to global dot characters, and then we're gonna pass in our. Hang on, before I do this stupidly. That's how you cast ints as strings, by the way. Okay, so for those of you that don't know Godot script, GD script, it's if you want to have a happier time, typecast everything, because then both of the kind of IntelliSense that's in the built-in IDE, and if you use Visual Studio Code, which is much better, but for the sake of the stream, I'm just going to use this. If you want IntelliSense to work, you need to cast in the code here what the hell you want, because everything uses var in this case, unless you're hard declaring a variable, because this can be changed at any time to anything else, kind of like JavaScript does, if I remember right, or Python. One of those does that. So you're telling the IDE and IntelliSense, hey, this is going to end up being a string. Okay, so since we have our string, there's ads. Oh, sorry, there's ads. We need to try to find this potential character to heal. Okay, and if potential character to heal, is there some way to freeze time? There is no pausing. So delta time is just built on the thing. You can literally set time to 0 though. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Game time or something like that. But this is all menuing anyway. So these inputs are just live. Just pressed is an event though, so you don't have to really worry about that. Events are what kind of like coroutines or whatever, if you know what I'm talking about. So they're not coroutines, but they're kind of like that. Like when you hit and your keyboard sends the event out, you get that back. There is a thing somewhere I have in my code. I think it's in global. Yes, but engine timescale. There you go. So timescale equals 1. So I have VSync forced. My game has to be ran at 60 FPS. It's a 2D game. There's no reason to go beyond that. It'll probably break things if people do that. It would probably break. Well, no, timers still work right. My coroutines still work right. So yeah, if you wanted to quote unquote fully pause the game, you could just set engine.timescale equal to 0. Hopefully that answers your question. Where was I at? Okay, here. So we need to get this as a character slot. Okay. So all right, I'm gonna show you another thing. So say you don't have this here. So you just have this random var potential character to heal equal to global.characters. Okay, well, the adventure screen and battle screen, it's literally a prefab. Is that how I did it? God, I haven't looked at this in a long time, and that's why I'm trying to get back into it. I think the battle system's literally just always there. Bosses are in their own battle scene. Hang on. So yeah, like boss fight is its own thing. Otherwise, everything, battles literally reside here in the top level HUD. Battle transitions, victory transitions, there's your battle system right there. So there is no jumping between scenes for the battles. Literally the whole top level of the game, which is that. This top level UI, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. This top level UI is never destroyed. Once it's in the game, it's there. So I can call out all sorts of things. Switching to Z layers? No, I'm literally, when we don't need the battle system anymore, I turn off its code, the object, so the code's not running, and then you just set it to invisible. It's its own thing. So I have multiple things here, and they are drawn in order. So like the dialogue system, battle system, victory transitions, battle screen, victory screen, player info, white noise. There's all sorts of stuff there. That it is drawn in order, but so you could think about it as Z layering. But I literally just make stuff visible and invisible and activate it and deactivate their actual code as needed. This allows me, so technically behind this screen right now, we're still in the adventure screen, as you called it. That's still going on. That's how I just decided to program it. I thought it would be the best way to handle it. But that's all paused too, so there's nothing. So while that's technically going on behind the scenes, there's no code going on for that that's being executed. All right, so let me move that back out of the way. So yeah, getting back to this. So we're just declaring a var. Godot is saying, okay, you're going to make this var potential character to heal, and you're going to set it equal to this. Well, technically, it doesn't know what this is. See, I put a period. Look it. Nothing. IntelliSense doesn't come up. Well, I call it IntelliSense, but you know what I mean. So nothing's popping up. If you do this, now int, look at that. Now you get all the properties of what would be in a character slot. So always cast whenever you can. All right, so then we want to do that. Everything depends on what's drawn on your screen for HP, because HP counts down and counts up like Earthbound in my game. So we can jump back into here now. Doot. Unpause. Sleepy sheet. Take a hit. Sleepy sheet. Take a hit. They really don't like Yui. Wow, they really don't like Yui. I hope that's not a bug. Glitch or feature. So let's see here. Yui's bracing for an impact. Main character. I still gotta fix that font. I don't know why it does that. Okay, she got healed. Alright, well, they just kept choosing her for some reason. For whatever reason. Alright, let's finish this battle, and then let's go straight to the boss. And take some real damage and get hit so that we have 0 HP, and then try to do a heal. This is just a... It's loud. Sorry. Okay. Apologize for that. It's just the fastest way to kill everything on screen. Oh, right, we don't have anything equipped either. Shit. Let's go ahead and equip Souls. Kelpie. Salamander. and Raiju. Okay. So, also in my game, your characters do not gain HP if you do not have a soul equipped. This allows you to build your character however you want. Because the other thing is, there's growth here, these growth stats. So if I were to gain a level, we'd get 2 HP, 2 MP, and 1 intelligence points. These attributes are the actual, like, equipment stats of the soul you have equipped. Think of it like your different pieces of equipment in a different JRPG. Like, you have your helmet gives you defense, your chest piece gives you defense, your weapon gives you attack power, etc., etc., etc. I streamlined all of that. There's no equipment to equip in my game. You literally just equipped a single soul, and it has its own attributes that are then attached to your character. Strength. So basically, you're taking your soul's attributes, your own character attributes, and then combining them, and then that's like your attack power, your defensive power, your magic attack power, all that good stuff. So, unlike games like, say, Final Fantasy VI, when you have the Espers equipped, or are not equipped, your characters still gain levels. And I didn't really like that because it highly discourages power leveling. If you don't know about the leveling system in FF6, your characters will gain random attributes and HP gains and shit to an extent, just by gaining a level. Later on in the game, I'd say like, what, 15-20% through the game, you get Espers, which are the summons. Everybody knows about summons in Final Fantasy games, I hope. You get Espers. You equipped an Esper to a character, and excuse me, not only do you learn spells from those Espers, you also, I'm going to get a little bit of water. You also gain an attribute stat increase. Sometimes it's plus speed, plus power. Is Esper Ifrit? Yeah. Ifrit, Shiva, Kuja, well, not Kuja, whatever the fuck it is, Bahamut, that kind of stuff. So you can steer character growth, like stat growth, in Final Fantasy VI by having specific stuff equipped. However, if you don't have them equipped, you just gain levels with your random attribute level ups. I personally didn't like that, so in my game, you have to have a soul equipped on a character to gain experience points. Like I said, this allows you to fully customize your characters, and then if you do an additional playthrough, you can sit there and go, oh, hey, I want to build my character a certain way, and I know I don't have to equip anything moving forward until I get to the specific soul that I want to equip on a character. Right now we're just making our way to the boss. She does a lot of damage, and we just need to get a character dead so that I can make sure healing does not work. So in theory, I'm looking at the code real quick. In theory, nothing will happen if you try right now. Like there's no X, there's no noise. Nothing will happen if you press enter and try to heal a dead character. And now you can see we got HP growth bar or XP growth bars since we actually have a soul equipped. Bum 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 bum. You guys like my fade out shader? That's also a shader, by the way, going on the old school. Oh shit, that's a worm. The old school sine wave manipulation, cosine waves, whatever. So that's actually just a flat sprite, and then I have a shader on it. It's pretty cool. Gives you that retro wavy look. All right, we have a cutscene here. We're just gonna fast forward. There we go. Just makes things go faster. Bum 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 bum. Go faster. I could probably set this to like speed 100, but I think speed 50 is fine through getting us through this quickly. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Boss fight. And you notice we have a different kind of background too. More shaders. Isn't that cool? So let us we're just gonna defend with everybody. Let her deal the damage. Well, maybe Yui shouldn't defend. Alright. Okay, defend. If she keeps attacking Yui. Why is everybody attacking Yui so much? Wait, I wasn't bracing for an attack. I should have taken a lot more damage than 2. Let's just have everybody attack. -7. This might take a while to get killed, chat. And you can see we're only dealing 1 point of damage. So everything in this everything in this game will at least deal a minimum of 1 damage to something. Keep that in mind. I guess Yui's just stacked for some reason. Oh, I wonder if she's locked into defending. That might be a bug. Let me put that in my notes. Sticky notes. For something to check. Sticky notes needs an update. Why does sticky notes need a... God damn it, Microsoft. Why does sticky notes need an update? Please. Things to check. You guys can't see this. I just got Notepad open. Things to check. Yeah, I know. Our Notepad has AI on it now, and it pisses me off. Actually, I shouldn't be using Notepad. Let me close Notepad. Get the hell out of here. I have Notepad++ open. Flashbang. Jesus. Okay, things to check. Verify a player is no longer longer defending once they do something other than defend. Okay. Very good. Get the hell out of here, sticky notes. Oh yeah, Notepad now. Notepad has a co-pilot button up in the top right corner now. It's great, isn't it? Chat, I'm this close. I shit you not. I am literally this close to swapping to Linux on my main rig. I have no problems with SteamOS. I actually use desktop mode in SteamOS all the time on my Steam Deck. I am not bothered by Fedora. I have Fedora installed on other computers. I have Lubuntu. I have I've used Mint before. CentOS, which is Debian, right? Or something like that. I don't remember. Anyways, I have no problem with a lot of that stuff. Godot works perfectly fine. Doing streaming stuff. I basically use this computer for like Windows only games and streaming at this point. So like Tarkov, I play. We do all the stream stuff. I know Path of Exile 2 works fine. There's a lot of games that work fine on Linux now. But this will probably be my last Windows computer. Anyway, so yeah, I need to check to make sure we are not defending anymore. The way we can do that is I took 7 damage on Hickory when I was defending. I'm still taking 7 damage. So defending is not working correctly, I believe. So yeah, we're just trying to get to 0 HP on somebody. We'll defend here just in case she targets Hickory again. No, she targets you. I should be definitely taking more damage than 2. Felt like Yui took like her whole health bar. Hang on. Yeah, okay, so that definitely needs to be fixed. Somehow we're still locked into a defending state on each character. Totally intended, right? Bum, 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 bum. Can you kill somebody already, please? Please kill somebody. Oh shit, I just took a lot of damage. Well, we can also make things just go faster. There you go. So basically I have it when you press the space bar at any point, the game time gets sped up, which allows you to go faster. Kind of like turbo mode if you're playing on an emulator. Okay. Which also adds in, I need to put an auto mode. Okay, so somebody's about to die. If it's our main character, then we learned that I properly coded dying. Okay, who dies? Yui has 3 more hits. Main character has 1. Hickory has 1. Damn it. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's heal. Physician, heal thyself. Okay. Okay, Hickory died. Okay. So, first off, your HP went below. Okay, so that needs to be fixed. Fix drawn HP going under 0. That's a problem. Flash banged again. Okay. So now, there we go. In theory, yep, so I'm hitting enter. So in this case, Hickory should be dead, and she's not. Or, I mean, she is dead. I haven't visually shown it. She is at under 0 HP, so therefore I cannot heal her. However, why does she have the ability to act? Okay, so that's a problem. This is what we're here for. Fix, menu, fix, action, menu appearing on a dead character. I don't think it's actually going to do anything because she's dead, so it doesn't matter in the turn order, in the great scheme of things. Okay, so let's go to our output. Shit, the boss went to choose an action that I haven't programmed yet. Damn it! All right, what are you doing? What are you doing here, buddy? Monster data table. Monster data table. There we go. Boss. Possible item drops. Monster actions. Wait, what? Oh, we're gonna set this to 100 for now. I can fix that. Why? The question is, why? She doesn't have a different ability to choose. So why did she choose null? Godot, are you okay there? That's not good. That's a problem. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Okay. My guess is let's first go here. Let's go to the actions. My thought process is she probably tried to attack Hickory. Enemy choose an action. Enemy action. Enemy choose action. Okay. Enemy chooses an action. Cumulative weight, RNG number. Wait. The fuck? I'm blowing my own mind here. Give me a second. Okay, we start with a weight of 0. We have an RNG number of a random integer. Did it literally choose 101? Did it literally choose 101 or something? That's interesting. Yeah, I think it chose 101, didn't it? Oh no, it should choose. It should choose 0 to 99. Well, right here, this right here where it says yes, ma'am, C tier is going to null. It literally just returned the string null. Because something is always returned here, and then it's put into an array as like a queue for when the turn order actually starts. So in this case, it literally returned null, which means RNG number was less than, or in this case, was greater than or equal to cumulative weight. So we literally hit the RNG somehow of being outside of the yeah, that's my guess. Okay, we're gonna do a thing here. We're going to do else. We're going to print debug. In this case, we're going to put out somehow the RNG number was greater than or equal to cumul weight. Okay. Somehow. And then we're going to do this print. I am bad at string formatting. If you hate me for it, I apologize. One of these days, I need to sit down and do real string formatting and not be an F word about it. We're going to do RNG. In this case, string RNG number plus. And then we're going to do cumul, which is the weight. We're going to put in a space here. And then this gets plus string cumul. Shit. Cumul weight. Okay. Very good. It's better than writing ass 1, 2, 3. Some people do that. I have some parts in my code where I put in a comment and I'm just like, this shit just works. Don't know why. I mean, I do know why. Or I'll just say, you know, I hate this function really bad. F you. Alright, so if for some reason this fails, we're then just going to go print debug falling back to action most likely to be chosen, which in this case we then do this. We're then just going to set RNG number equal to hang on. String actions. Actions is a dictionary. Ooh. Okay. Which is an integer. Right? This should be as int. And then this should also be an integer. This is why you should typecast this shit. Okay. So this should be an integer. Sorry, I'm thinking through this process. Actions. Oh. So then I guess we're literally going to do shit. This is a dictionary. The potential actions. I gotta really know what the hell I'm doing here. Monster actions. Her actions should only be attack 100. I'm not. The only reason why it didn't fill in the actions then. Somehow RNG went above that. Okay. Which is strange. Huh. Oh! I know. Okay. So, okay. This is why this was confusing me. I thought I was loading up an entire array of shit. I'm not. So we have a for loop here. And we immediately... Okay, so we already cast our RNG number, okay? So in this case... what's going to happen is I need to bring up a visual. Give me a sec. Blah, 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 blah. Paint.net to the rescue again. All right, let's make a new layer. We'll do this. Puke. God bless America. Okay, so we choose a number 0 to 100. Okay? And then we go into a loop. Loop while we're looping while we're doing a for loop while RNG is less than the total weight, or cumulative weight as I call it, total. So if we have, say, our RNG is 70, that means then that if we have, you got to start from, oh God, I programmed this a long time ago. If you have, so this is our RNG for the sake of this discussion. This is our RNG number, okay? That's an awful G. It looks like a 6. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways, so we're stuck in this loop while our RNG is less than a total. So let's say our first weight is poison, could be the skill. Okay, so poison is our skill where poison weight is equal to, say, 10. That means technically this should be a 10% chance. Okay? That's how I done it. So all the numbers are from 0 to 100. So it's 10% chance. We are still greater, in this case, RNG is still greater than the total. So that then means we're looping back here. So now we're going to look at, say, fire, like a basic spell. And let's say this is equal to 20%. So right now our total in this case, our total is now equal to 30. Well, RNG is still greater, right? So then we're kicking back here again to the top of the for loop. But now let's say that attack, basic attack is equal to the remaining 70%. In this case, our total is now equal to 100. And RNG is now indeed less than the total. So now, not total. So now this means we can then step out and return the action. Because this is for, so this loop that's up here, the for loop is for an action in a dictionary. So it's literally looking in a dictionary, right? So you can think about it as, well, hang on. Make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about. So action is a key. This is a key. And then during the for loop, we literally pull the number based on the key, or based on the value. So this is the value in the dictionary. V, this is the value. Poison is the key. And then we're using the 10 as the weight. So in this case, since attack is, so since our RNG is lower than the total, which is 100, now we have a big weight of 70. We're going to return attack from that dictionary. And this dictionary would have looked like this. It would have looked like poison, 10, comma, fire, 20, and attack, 70. And then that gives you your 100 weight. So as long as RNG is still greater than these, I don't know what the fuck that was, but okay. So long as your RNG number is greater than these, well then attack is what's chosen, any number from basically 30 to 100. So that's what's happening. I just wanted you guys to visualize how that works through that, and it helps me remember how that works on that too. So our problem is we somehow chose 101. Or 100, excuse me. So what I want to do here then, I guess we could literally just do equal. And if we still somehow break out, we're going to set RNG literally equal to 100. Why did I choose 101? Well, Randy 101 gives us a possibility of 100. I think the reason why I did that is this ordering matters. I think. We either have to put largest to smallest or smallest to largest. That matters in this ordering, if I remember correctly. As long as they're consistent, it doesn't matter which order they go in. But you are right that technically it would be better to just do this. But then that means we could choose 99 and never hit the 1% chance. So if I wanted to do some garbage, right, where an enemy has a 1% chance to, say, cast a kill-all spell, potentially we would never hit it with this number. Whereas 101, we would. Because it would return a number 0 to 100. But yeah, the equal. No, you're right. You're right. I'm probably just overthinking things. And then we can just do that. If somehow could probably just do this. There you go. Safe code. Or something like that. Just set it equal to -1. There you go. If it somehow fails, there you go. I think that works, and that fixes that bug. That's my decision. for now. This looks at mactions.txt dictionary dump based on monster key, not monster string. I'm trying to help myself out in name. There we go. That way we have that. Do you think that's gonna mess up? Oh, we're gonna end up running out of actions. Never mind. Yeah, that won't work. So then we just literally just do this. We just do that. No, you're right. As soon as I read them, you'll mess up. I just thought about that because it's not a while loop, it's a for loop. Yep, buddy. You on that one. There you go. Now it'll just do that. It'll always choose the final action. Which I'll have to keep that in mind for balancing. Yeah. Well, the problem is, this is a dictionary. I'd have to change dictionary. Dictionaries have no index in GD script. It's literally key value. I'd have to turn the dictionary into an array. Which I could do that. But I made it a dictionary on purpose so that all of these text files, hang on, let me turn this down a little bit. All these text files use similar things, so I can literally just look them up in the dictionary. Like, these are keys: monster 1, monster 2, monster 3, monster 4, boss 1. So I can look at multiple dictionaries using the exact same key without having to iterate through it. Well, you know, like how you have to iterate through an array. So, like, there's a dictionary that holds all of this data on game initialization. It also populates a dictionary for their actions that they can choose. Item data works the same way. Soul data, that all works the same way. So you have... There we go. So, like, there's souls here. So, like, you have soul data. This is the key, right? And then if you look in the soul descriptions, we have the same key. Separated by that, because you don't want to use a comma to separate what's going on here. So it literally makes a dictionary where this is the key, and then this is the value. That's how I coded my file loading into the dictionaries. Probably an awful way to do it, but it works. So like loading character data, loading, there's more loading somewhere. Loading stills, which are still CG images. Loading soul data here. We're parsing the different attributes that souls have. All this gets loaded on game startup into dictionaries, and then they're kept in a global singleton so I can call them at any time, so I don't have to keep reloading. If all the keys in those dictionary files are proper, I'll literally just get an error. Kind of a thing. Down here. Because they're not going to match up right now. For instance, I have all of these in the monster data tables. So we have 50 regular monsters in the game. But if we go to monster actions, you can see I don't have them all in there yet. But I could literally just copy paste. But I should be doing safe code. But no. It would literally just crash right here in the output. Kind of a thing. I think I have code to check. Right, we have failed to open. So loading this. So we're opening up a file path. We get the file. We're creating a dictionary of soul data. If we have the soul data, so everything went well while we were generating a dictionary, then we then go to the next step. So we load all of this first, soul data. So we load all of this first, and if this was successful, then we load the descriptors for the souls, if that makes sense. Thor, yeah, I know he does, or Pirate Software, whatever, that guy. I saw the screenshot of his code. I don't want to shit on people because I know I have my own problems. But when you have 400 if checks, dude, use a fucking switch, man. Or a for loop. God. But yeah, we're not even to a public demo yet. This is still making things work kind of a thing. The game, although I say I don't have a demo yet, it's literally like 35 minutes of content already. Bum, bum, bum. XP curves get loaded as well, like all the levels you can gain there. Spell elements, spell data. These are all dictionaries. But I do make sure my keys, when I make my files, I always put the keys in the first position of every line. So I am keeping things formatted the same. Does that make sense? Everything like that. Save locations, location keys, X position, Y position. Because I'm not allowing player saving anywhere in the game. You have to be like actual save locations, kind of like the old Final Fantasy games. So that's also another dictionary. So all I literally have to do is save a location of an integer here, and then the game will automatically pull up that location and what scene it is, and then where the character should be placed as soon as the scene has finished loading. Same thing, dictionary files of stills and all that good stuff. So those of you who have not seen, we'll take a little break here. I will show you where we are at with the game so far. I don't want that. I want the music to shut up because my game does have my own music in it. So let us go to... we need title screen, title screen, title screen. Where the shit are you? Title. There's a lot of stuff in this. Do what? Hang on, we can just stop that for a second. You say, coming back to the 4 actions loop, you'll always choose the first action. Not necessarily. If there's only 2 actions, yes. I can look further into that. See, that's why I'm thinking I should redo. I think it could be as simply solved as. It's getting cold in here, excuse me. I think it could literally be as simple as swapping these around, putting the lower attack or lower actions first. I don't know. Attacks are always going to happen. Regardless. So you iterate if you have RNG less than cumulative. Right, but in this case, let's say if attack was only 50, right? And our RNG was 60. Cumulative. If our RNG was 60, so that means our first cumulative would only be 50, right? So then we'd have to check the next thing. which this would be another 50. So now our cumulative would equal 100, and yes, 60 is equal to less, or is less than 100. But we always want to return here. So we start with the first one. Our cumulative weight always starts at 0. If attack in this case was 50 and RNG was 60, the cumulative weight becomes 50, which RNG number is not. Hang on. No, you're right. You're right. We need to do hang on. We're going to do this. We're going to do else if RNG number is greater than what, 100? I think that's what we want, right? I could do an if, but I don't want to do that. I think we're going to literally just do an else. Nothing happens, and we return to the top of the for loop. If RNG is greater than 100, then we do a thing. Well, yeah, I mean, technically. We would have to do, but then I have to add additional code. Does that make sense? We would have to pull out the dictionary. I would have to literally put dictionary. The way dictionaries work, again, because it's not an array, I would literally have to declare I would have to pull a random key. Not really random, but you know what I mean. I'd have to pull a key out of the dictionary, go back into the dictionary with said key to then pull the value out of the key to then, which would become actions, and return that there. Does that make sense? Whereas right here, I don't have to worry about that. It is a better exit. Null, something went very, very wrong. There you go. This should never happen. This should never happen. And the reason why you have to put this here is because Godot will get angry at you. So these are all just fallbacks. These are all something broke. We should never really see any of this code happen. Ever. This is all fallback code. If something happened somewhere, somehow, and the number became that, or equal to, I guess. If somehow Godot effed up and returned 100 here, somehow, not saying it ever will, but let's say we just get a glitch somewhere and the interpreter live f's up and goes, no, I'm going to return a 100. Then we have this, and then this is the very bad thing where we may not have any actions at all. So this is like the check right here for we have no actions associated to the monster. That's when that should be called. The something very bad happened here. Which then I should just do this null, possibly no monster actions in dictionary. Yeah. to right. So this is just fallback. This is like complete, or not complete. This is just in case Godot somehow generates 100. That's all that's for. So this code is just safety code. And then this is monster actions weren't even in the dictionary. Okay. Kind of a thing. Oh, this right here. Well, yeah, that's the what you're talking about is where I have a failure. Hang on, we can do this. You're saying like right here, right? Because then that would then insinuate, this would then insinuate, we could do this. Hang on. More debugs for me. More debugs. Print. We finally pull an OpenXCom apart. Yeah, we're going to print here. I don't need to do another debug because, well, I guess I should do a debug because it gives you the line. We could literally print here that if RNG is greater than cumul, that means that M actions do not add up to 100. Bada bing. That would literally tell me the problem, right? Which then means I got to go into Monster Oslo. How you doing, Kiwi? Hopefully you didn't have a blizzard like I had today. So then that would then tell me literally that we have to go in here and make sure all of our numbers add up to 100. We can get rid of that. We're just going to put that at 0 because it's just a placeholder. So that. And then really think so? It should be 99? We should always roll the 99, like you were saying before. This is literally just if the interpreter for GD script breaks and somehow generates a 100 due to like a weird float somewhere. I don't know. I've never looked under the hood how GD script in the C++ part of the actual game engine, all that stuff happens under the hood. I'm assuming it's just direct integers and not doubles and floats converted later. I don't know. I'm kind of preparing for a worst case scenario kind of a thing. That's kind of just where I'm at. Shouldn't need to, but that's just how I'm looking at that, if that makes any sense. Weighted targets. And then we have another loop here. This is where the enemy chooses a target. Kind of a thing. It's another while loop. Make sure, so a character that, right. So an enemy will never target a character that has 0 or less than HP. So I already took care of that. It's not actually weighted though. Yeah, we're just doing a random number for now. So that at some point will be another thing to add where the bottom 2 characters are targeted not as often as the top 2 characters. We did have a problem with drawn HP. Drawn HP went under 0, and that should never. Oh my god, my phone just vibrated. Sorry. Hang Hang on, we're gonna turn the music back on because we're not playing the game. There we go. Okay, so we had that problem. That should be an easy fix. Where did I put you? I don't remember if it was in this global. Nope. Global functions. Check quest states. Nope. Player info. Check HP. Basically, we need to put in somewhere. We need to decide where, either in a singleton or maybe just in this since we're already doing it, since this is player info anyway, where we are checking HP as it is, I'm thinking we just put it into here, where if at any time player HP is less than 0, it gets set to 0. Which we can put kind of in here. You know what, we're just going to make a function real quick, because that'll be the easiest way. Function prevent under 0. And then we're going to then take a, hang on. So S is going to be a character slot. So we can already then do this. Character CL character slot. Beautiful. So we're going to pass S into this and basically do if character dot int HP, excuse me, int HP is less than 0, character dot int HP equals 0. Boom. It shouldn't be called all that often though. You know what I mean? Wait, I already have a check for 0. What the fuck? Yeah, you know what? F it. I already know what that is about. That's something different. So we're going to do prevent under 0. S gets passed into there. Use to keep HP at or above 0. Okay. Hopefully that should fix that problem. So nobody should be going under 0 HP anymore. Beautiful. And that's not being called every single step either. It's being called change speed times delta. If we didn't have change speed, it would be called 1 time per second. Change speed is 10, so every 1/6 of a second, or whatever my delta is. Now, 10 times the delta, whatever the fuck that is. Delta is a magical number that I don't know what that is. I know what delta really is, but I don't know its exact figure because that can change based on your CPU cycles, frame rate, blah, 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 blah. Right? So that's taken care of. 60 milliseconds, that checks out. I felt like I wanted to say, in my brain, I kept thinking 0.16, so I had a 16 stuck in my head. Actually, I had 0.16666666666, like long, forever going sixes. So I was somewhere there. I think we did that, so we're gonna check that. Okay. The hell is this? Is this This kind of sounds like Monopoly music or Toy Story, one or the other. Super Nintendo. We're checking for menus. Menus. Character selector. I don't think it's there. I think it's in battle system. Check next. Hang on. Player input. Player battle menu is true. Make sure knows to open the decision menu. Okay. So decision menu is here. Oh. Well, then that gets sent to... check clear button, set process true. Choose act gets emitted. God bless America. Skill menu. Because this should have... Also, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest music is pretty good. Basically, I need to remember where the hell... Is it action menu? Oh god, there it is. Action menu. Okay. I need to find the spot because I don't remember where I put it. Okay, so when we hit enter, right here, we're literally going to the next character slot. So we have to do this for every action. So basically what we have to do here is pull in this. Int drawn HP. Hang on. So as long as our drawn HP is greater than 0, because remember, we're pulling the Earthbound way of doing things. I didn't mean to do that. Try that again. There we go. So as long as the next character has at least greater than 0 HP, right, we're going to allow the next menu command to be for them. That adds another step I have to check, which if the menu is open and we're suddenly at 0 HP, we either close the menu or... No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it so that you can still... Okay, so while the... Okay, so if the menu is already open... Let me think how I want to do this. If the menu's already open, even if HP becomes 0, you can still put in action. But when it comes time for that player's turn, they faint or, you know, KO right there for their action. So their action gets overwritten. Does that make sense? I think that's the best way to handle that. At least that's what I feel like is the best way to handle that. So we have 2 spots then. Okay, so that means this. All right, so I'm brainstorming here, all right? We have 2 spots in the battle system during turn order that a character dies, faints, passes out, knockout, KO, whatever you want to call it, okay? When your HP goes to 0. Because HP in my game is not immediately set to 0. It counts down and counts up like Earthbound. So we have 2 spots we can do this, and I will do, and it needs to be done in each spot. if you're already in the menu and the character's HP is counting down, but it hits 0 while the menu's still open, instead of breaking all of that, we'll let the player still input a command, but then when it becomes I guess at the top of the turn order, when we start the turn order, we can literally check. No, that adds another loophole. Because what if an enemy still targets the player? Shit, I gotta find a way to breaking out of this menu. I think we could actually do... The main problem is the menu right now. A character cannot do an action if their HP is 0. I already have that coded in place. The problem is the menu will still open. So we gotta find a way to take care of that. We did it here, so making sure our current character has that. Else, hang on. Let me think about how I need to go about doing this. My brain, I'm racking my brain right now. So we chose attack on our current character. We then go to the next character slot. If that character has at least 1 HP, we then check to verify that our character slot is not above 3 and that they're actually in the party. Else, if our character slot is either above 3 or it is still under or 3 or less, but the characters are not in the party yet, we just assume that everybody is done. However, we need to add an else. I didn't mean to drag the little eye off by himself. Shit. Why don't I do this? We're going to change the code up here quite a bit. Shit, I can't do that. I was about to put a while loop. No. Because this is a match, which is a switch. It's literally in a function, so we're not looping. This is a function. Your laptop's still functionable. Thy screen broke, but my parents say laptop is still functionable. Only if you guys have seen that video. I love that video. And I feel for that guy. I've made a laptop last for forever when I was not as well off in money. Not that I'm well off now anyway. So yeah, this is just called on a function. I guess we could literally just do this. Basically, we... Jesus Christ. How do I code big anime titties? I mean, I could. $67 is supposed to switch your character. Correct. But nothing... Both of these actions have to be true. Does that make sense? The way you... I think I know where you're going. So this... Both actions have to be true. No, I've never gone out of bounds in this. So even if this hits 4, once it fails the first condition here, it immediately is going to go into the else check. That's the way Godot looks at things. Or else you're right, this should be going out of bounds. But it never does. Because it literally fails right here. Oh, no, you're right. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just being an idiot again. You would have to do this. I was looking at the wrong thing. This is why. Give Chad a mouse pointer. You know, that'd be kind of cool. You could have, dude, has anybody ever actually done interact? Well, I mean, you can do like interactive screen clicks, but you would have to be watching that same screen as the streamer, right? You'd have to watch your own stream and see where people are clicking. Maybe I just thought of a new thing we could do. Chat has their own finger pointer. This looks super redundant now. Shit. What if we moved this here? Popped that down there, changed this. Oh, my timer's still open. Get out of here so I can use my delete key. Thank you. And then we do that, and then we do if. Like that. So that's what I'm saying. So then we would move this out here. God, why did you just do that? Tab, my man. What are you upset about? Oh, because I have that. There we go. Which, let's keep code syntax looking the same. Okay. So then, in theory, we get rid of that. Okay. Okay, so we want to make sure we're at an index less than 4. Now that we've confirmed that we're less than 4, do we still have HP? Yes, we do have HP. So now we're going to go to the next character. Else. Hang on. See, I think I just fucked something up really bad. This needs to go here. There we go. Yeah, that's where that goes. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go to set open. I may be able to just do set open to false. And it may just be that simple. Hang on. Clear buttons from hovered. Go back a character. Shit. Right now we have the problem of what happens. Oh, it doesn't matter. If the character, it literally doesn't matter. If the person is not in the party, we're fine. Okay. So in theory, if we're starting at 0, okay, let's think about this logically, okay? If we're at 0 here, not this 0, but we're at the character slot 0, top left character, and we choose attack. Let's say now character slot 1, we go to now we're going to look at character slot 1. If they are dead, we do nothing else in this switch. So we're literally done with this function. Okay. And now we're on to slot 2. No. I guess we'd have to add another character slot here then. Literally, just quite literally, do an else and then add another one, kind of a thing. Or do I make a function that just goes through all the character slots to return the next character that isn't dead? That might be the... I feel like that's the thing to do, where we make a function that just goes through it. I think I should add comments. Bro, I get on times where I do that and times where I don't do that. And this is just for attack. Once we get it set in stone, then we can copy it for the other stuff. Well, a lot of it. Probably do... hang on. Yeah, because this is the old code right now. It's the exact same, like this part, so we can end up putting a lot of this into a function. So this is the old code. We go to the next character slot. That character is choosing to defend. The cool thing is I can check what I might have fucked up. Give me 1 second. Sure. Let me grab Notepad. Okay. Let me open up, because I made a backup. It is on my scripts. It's on my that I pulled from the Mac. Hang on. Where are we at, by the way? We're in the action menu. Okay. Here, let me tell you guys something. I have... Oh, I can't count that. I think there's over 50 scripts already. Let's see here. Action menu. Okay. Be ready for a flashbang. Flashbang! Okay. We'll make it big. There we go. Right over my own head. There you go. So this is the old code. This is the same section we're in, attack. This is the old version. So right now we're choosing to attack. We're literally highlighting the attack button. We hit enter, and this is what happens when we hit enter. This gets emitted back to the player choices. We tell the character that they're now having an action, which is attack. We're going to clear all the buttons, which it hides the menu. We're setting the index of the menu back to 0. The first button will be the one highlighted the next time the menu is... Okay, so yeah, here. We'll add... We're going to add comments then. All right. Okay, so... set our instance of character... Actually, of CL... Yeah, set our instance of character to hold an action of attack string. Okay. Make sure every button is not hovered visually. Set our selected button back to 0, which is attack. This is just copied code, so all the buttons have this same code. So that way, when you go to the next character, attack, which is the first button from the left, is always highlighted. Highlight the first button on menu. Highlight the first button for when the menu is opened again. Okay. Now, go to next character via index integer. Okay. make sure we have, or make sure the index is less than 4. So 0 to 3. Okay. We're just adding comments to everything now. Okay. Now we need to make sure the next character is not KO. God, I hate my mouse sometimes. Hang on. Where the fuck did I just do that? Okay. I fat-fingered chat. Okay, so we're making sure our next character is not KO'd. And make sure they are in the party. Actually, I feel like we should be doing that first. Don't you guys think we should be verifying if a character's in a party before we verify if their HP is 0? I feel like that should be a thing. So we do that. Yeah. I feel like that's the proper way to do this. Because a character who is not in the party could, in theory, have an HP of 0. I don't know. Probably either way is fine. Okay. So now I feel like this is where we add the loop I was talking about earlier, where we basically need to iterate through the array of characters and find the next character that is guaranteed to have HP. Does that make sense? How do we want to do that? There's several ways we could do that. We could do... We could do a for loop. And if nothing happens in the for loop, we could just wrap this into a function and then call that function here, or if the for loop fails to find anybody. Does that make sense? So we can put an else here. Right here, else. This means the next player is dead. So we need to find the next player. It might have a do while. Let's take a look here. Godot 4.5 do while. While true. Does not have a built-in do while. It just has a regular while. I mean, we also guaranteed only have 4 character slots, right? I feel like, oh, couldn't we actually just put this for loop literally at the top of the check pressed? Because this is where, hang on. check pressed. That might be the best spot to do it, right? Go back a character. I'm just looking at my functions to verify I'm not doing anything stupid here. I feel like we can literally just put that up at the top, right? And then we set the index starting at 0. If player 0 has that, because it gets ran all the time anyway. And then we can just do a return, right? Hang on. Would that be an easier way to do this, guys? Because the player at position 0 will always be in a menu, right? That menu's always going to pop for them. So the top left character will always have the menu pop. I feel like we should be doing this, checking the player is alive right here at the top. Or we could even put it, hang on, how do I want to do this? Okay, right here. So the battle system has opened our action menu. Okay. So then, okay. So we can write a for loop function. We can call it function find next alive character. Okay. So we need to find our next alive character. And all we need to pump into this is character, which is a CL character slot. Okay. And then do we need to pass in the character slot array? It's already a global variable to the scope of this entire script because it's declared at the top. Or, yeah. So we could just literally do I'm just thinking. Find next alive character. Let me think this one through. I'm sure some of you already know how to program all this. I'm just trying to think through this. Well, we can do this the safe way. Var current index equal to index character slot. Okay, so we're gonna have our own thing. And then we can do for current index less than 4. Okay. And then, hang on, I think I also got to do this. Integer. Okay. And now it should get mad and tell me at some point that I'm not returning anything. Okay. So now we want to do var. Hang on. I don't even think we need this. Right? No, we don't. We don't even need that. Because we can literally just do this. So we have our current index, which is an integer, right? Now we can just do var character equal to global dot gdata dot character slots current index. Wait, what indent are you talking about, my guy? No. God. We just do this to make it shut the hell up. All right, good. Now we can do this. Okay. Let me remember how to do my for loops. It's been a minute. For loop Godot 4.5. I'm being an idiot right now. Usually I do it by looking into items. Oh, it's I in range. I'm an idiot. Okay, so I or like no, we can just do this. While. There we go. Or maybe not while. Shit. Let me think. Or hang on. The for loops are kind of weird. We need to do for I in Jesus range current index 4. Have mercy. Okay, so that should return N is exclusive, so 4 will never be checked. Okay, current index is inclusive, so you always are going to count that part, right? But 4 is not. Okay, so then what I'm going to do here is I. We're returning the character at index of I. Okay, and then we do hang on. If character dot drawn HP is greater than 0, return I. Right? Else return 4, which pulls us out. Well, the reason why we can use this is because we, in theory, can call this while character slot is 0. Does that make sense? And then we're literally going to do this. Find next character alive. But we're going to do... Bro, why the fuck do you do that sometimes, Godot? Like that. Does that make sense? So I guess we technically didn't even need this. Or whatever. Right, we want it to return 0 if the first character is alive. If he's not alive, then this should immediately look at 1, 2. This is literally on the battle system. So this is like, we just got into battle. We literally just got into battle. So this is where we're calling it this the first time. So this is called, we're calling this at the start of battle. So this checks to make sure, you know, someone is alive. Okay. And then we can call this again. We can call this again here. Like that. Assignment, because I copied the whole line like an idiot. Like that. So we already, so this right here assumes that somebody is already alive and they're choosing an action, okay? Which is great. If this returns 4, what then happens? Then we need to just do, we can copy this and then do if it's less than, or no, excuse me, greater than equal to 4, and then just return. That would break us out of everything. Does that make sense? I know I'm copying code. We can actually probably just do this as a, like I said, as a function. We'll just copy that for like cleaner code. So we just do a, we can just throw this anywhere, it doesn't really matter. Call this function and player input. Not input. Okay. And then enter, do this, turn the menu off. We're now on to enemy decisions. Character slot is reset to 0 for the sake of resetting everything back to for when the next time the battle menu is open. So then we can, in theory, put this here and then just do and player input. And in theory, this will work. If it doesn't, we haven't changed anything much else in the script. So I can revert if I have to. I want to go back to this. So we can put some debugs into here, right? We can do print debug character dot string name plus is now being checked if alive for menus. Does that make sense? And then we can do one more print debug here. Character dot sname plus has, which I need to put a space here, has more than 0 HP. Otherwise, we can then do print debug. We found no other alive characters. And then we return 4. And if we're equal to 4, we just close out and then player input at the next top. Oh, checking if they're in party. That is true. That can just be done here. If character in party. Good catch on that. Oh, shit. My bad. No. God damn it. Okay. There we go. So we're going to grab the character. Are they in party? Which all the party members are added. There's only one character that's not in the party so far in my plot, and that's character 4, which is indexed at 3. Yeah. And I don't have any foreseeable plans to kick anybody out of the party at any given time. Oh, man. Internet's getting shitty. Thank you, Wintertime. Sorry if I've dropped frames, by the way. I think we just give this a go and see what happens. Don't think there's anything else here to really mess with. Save locations, no. Close. Discard. Align 73 to 80. Oh. You mean we could literally just yeet this all out, right? Or no. Yeah, we could just yeet that all out, right? And now we just do this, right? We can literally just delete all that. I believe we can just delete all that, because index character slot will literally check for the next character. I feel like that's something we can do. Because we're already checking for next party member, character slot, all that good stuff. Oh. So, like, that. And no, you cannot. There is no such thing as multi-line comments in GDScript, by the way. And then we can just get rid of all that, right? I feel like that's what we can get rid of, because we're literally looking for the next alive character. Well, hang on. We technically already do that. Oh, right. No, you're right. You're right. So first time this gets called, it'll be 0. So +1 right there. Or I mean, or we can even just do, you know, +1. It doesn't matter. Either way it works. So we can literally just do that. But no, we also got to check the first character. Yeah. So index character slot +1, or excuse me, +=1. And then if it's ever greater than or equal of 4 at the next top of the thing, we're ready to rock. Hey, what's going on, Coat? Welcome to whatever the hell this is I'm doing. Right, then we go back down to this function. Let's double check it. Function next to live. Well, won't it always return 4? Like, isn't it technically safe right now as it is, as dumb as that sounds? Because if it doesn't find anybody alive, it's going to return 4 automatically. Like, it's going to push all the way to 4. So then we don't really need this anymore, because you cannot even check that enter is pressed at the top of the function. It will literally pull you out of this function and end the turn. So then this will no longer. So if we're at greater than or equal to 4, we literally get pulled out of this function at the very start, and this cannot be called anymore because end input literally takes us to, we're no longer visible, which pulls us out of it, and we're turning off our processing for this script. That's what set process does. It literally kills the script. So yeah, whenever we hit end player input, all I did was copy the code, which is still here in defend. We still have the same code right here. We're literally doing the same thing. No, I kind of wanted to call it at the top so that we don't open the menu at all. Does that make sense? Because this gets called as long as our object is open. God damn it, I didn't select that. As long as our menu is open and something gets pressed on the keyboard, then we actually check the events. Hexcom, hey, I fixed. No, this is my own game. That's why I put this here. Like, if we have an index greater than 3, break out of this function completely. Like, none of this code gets called. No, it's literally called every delta. It's literally just sitting here waiting for us to press something on the keyboard. I probably should be using events instead. It just kind of sits here waiting for us to press something on the keyboard. That's all. And then if we have an index greater than 3, we just break out completely. And I think we should test this. The only code that would have to be put back is literally section 1. And I have that code open in Notepad++. So it's not like it's gone. Okay, let's kill the... Oh, no, we can leave that music playing because we don't have battle music anyway. Let's jump into... We're looking for... actually, we can just do it from here. Temple Distortion. Okay. Here we go. Oh my god, what broke? You bastard. What actually broke? Please don't do that, game. Something just broke. Why? Why did something just break? What? We didn't even touch that, man. Gotta love when shit breaks you didn't even touch. I literally didn't touch my dictionaries. No, this is just loading from a file, just loading dictionaries. And this is soul descriptors, which is... right here. So what did it get angry at? Because there's nothing wrong here. Soul data. What? We didn't touch this though. No, it's calling it at my soul descriptors and everything. What? No, it didn't crash at that dictionary though. These dictionaries are not coupled to these dictionaries are not coupled to the actions dictionary. These are completely separated from that. And it's not there either. See? There's no asterisks. We're not there. It's invalid access. It's telling me that there's no keys here. What? Okay, well. Why are we suddenly upset? Great. Shit breaks that I have nothing to do with. Invalid, so delta's number, yeah, we don't care about that. Load soul description, valid access property or key of type string. Why are you telling me? Christ. No, there's nothing there. Soul data? Nothing there. Nothing there. It's like acting like my dictionary... Oh, soul data didn't load. Hang on. Soul data isn't loading. Why? What is the error here? What? God. All right. Give me a second. Shit. Let's do a thing, chat. This is why we have multiple things. Isn't it swell? Because the only thing we added to global... It didn't even fail to open anything, so I don't understand what the problem is. We opened the file. We loaded everything. And then it fails at the descriptors. Look, we even have the dictionaries loaded. Global init called. Quest data initialized. We loaded monster data. We have spell data. But we failed at soul data. Why? Why did you fail at this? Oh my God. This is brutal. Edit. What are the undos here? Okay. Okay, so there's nothing wrong here. There was nothing wrong here either. Yeah, there's no undos. What the fuck? Oh, it's gotta be something simple, chat, and I'm gonna get pissed. I'm gonna get very angry. Damn it, dude. Oh my God. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, chat. Print, debug, print out the entire fucking dictionary. It should hit this spot. I gotta see what you're angry at. So here's our entire dictionary, and it is definitely set up with strings as the keys. I shit you not. That's literally string as the key. So what the fuck is it mad about? String on a base type dictionary. That's lit. Chat, throw me a bone here. It's saying that a string is not a correct... key. Look at that. It's literally showing us the correct thing. So hovering over this right now, how it's broken, it's literally showing us that Kelpie is the key. You can... Hang on. Maybe we'll find a crash here. Hang on. Let's find the crash. If it's the first one, then there's a problem. If it's the last one, then we'll know. output. It's a fucking space, dude. It's this. Or at least that's my theory. That's literally what it was. Somehow I hit enter. God, dude. Okay. I don't need that anymore. Why did it... So it had a line. I guess Godot reads a blank line? I guess I should do... line... Shit. I guess values has to be greater than 0. If values dot count is greater than 1. I think that's how this works. No. Size. There it is. Okay. Okay. I think that's all I need to do there. Oh, Jesus, have mercy. Okay. That was... My heart broke there for a second, boys. That's not what I want. Okay. Now. Let's go do the thing. Give me an encounter. That is, there we go. Okay, so this works like normal. No, we already have a problem. You didn't bring... Okay, so the finger pointer went invisible. But I could still take actions. Interesting. Okay. Oh, for some reason I can choose slot 4 even though nobody's there. That's another thing I gotta fix. Okay, her act button came up there. So it's definitely something wrong. Okay. We never get that next for command. Okay. Alright, we can go back to the fucking action menu. Ah, that right there, that line was missed. Ooh, do we do it here? Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate all your help, dude. We'll be doing this every Wednesday and hopefully come up with a good demo here soon. Very soon. Because like I said, there's a lot of game here already. The question is, do I want to do this here? I feel like we have to do this here, right? feel like that's the only option. Let's see. So let's go into a battle real quick. I don't even care about equipping a soul or anything. Come on, give us some mobs. Give me some mobs. There we go. Okay. Okay. Looks good. Beautiful. And then we actually need to test that if everybody's dead or not. But I did tell you guys we would go through the game from the start. Give me a second here. Kill the SNES music. And go to the title. And play through the game. And show you guys all the cool and maybe not cool stuff. Here we go. It's over on my far left monitor. There we go. Oh, this is my game, no Steely, chat. Which now I gotta put 2024 to 2026 at the bottom. Holy shit, I've been working on this a long time. Oh. I don't think there's any options to really do here. No, I don't even have volume situated. You can continue, but we don't need to do that either. You guys like my title screen music? Hopefully you guys do. I just kind of, there we go. Kind of like lost my pass through. There we go. You guys didn't lose it, I did. All right. Hopefully you guys can speed read. No, I can't even read, streamer. We can actually turn on fast forward here too. I think. Oh, but it'll make the sounds play fast too. Just read fast, chat. You gotta read fast. Are you guys reading? You guys better be reading. I'm not reading it for you yet. Alright, I gotta do something with this spot too, because the water looks all weird. Right, that is on my to-do list. No it's not. Let me put that on my to-do list right now. Fix water on intro cutscene. Okay. I was messing with like particles and stuff, trying to make it look like the ocean. I think the particles work alright. I don't know what that final image is though. Anyway. More music. The only 2 songs I've made so far. You guys can still see down underneath too the output box doing stuff. Oh, I had a double quotation mark there. Uh-oh. Put that on the notes. Double quote in the word intro dialogue. Shit. I can't tell you how many times I played my own game, and this is how I fix bugs, because I'm a one-man show. Don't worry, it's just a long intro cutscene. Spacebar. There we go. Now we're in fast forward mode. There we go. And then we get to walk around. Yay! And then there's Gramps. Hell yeah. So this is just you walk over here. This prevents you from going into town, which you guys have never seen town. I haven't either. I haven't even finished tiling it. Yep, you get to walk around. I need to make music for this section. This is all done in Tiled, like the application called Tiled. The tile set is one that I bought, Gutty Kroom, I think it is, on itch.io, and then I heavily modified it to fit my color palette and ditherine and all that good stuff. You get to talk to people. Temples, gods, who knows? I am here because I'm a lazy adult that doesn't want to be at work today. So I just tell my boss I'm taking a religious day off work. Heh, what a sucker. I tried to make the dialogue kind of whimsical, right? Like Earthbound inspired. Why am I visiting the temple? Oh, I'm not here for that. I just needed to breathe some fresh air. Why? My boyfriend might just happen to have a strong obsession with onions. It is becoming harder to be around him. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, always onions. Remember, chat, don't be an onionator. You can even talk to the dogs. Look, kid, I'm a dog. I don't know nothing about anything except barking, eating, and sleeping. Oh, I forgot. Woof, woof. All right, we don't need to talk to everybody, but you notice that the characters are not being displayed yet either. That's by design. You guys like my 300ZX back there? Actually, yeah, that is a 300ZX I made. One of the few art pieces I made on my own of the tile set anyway. I basically looked at there is a God, what is it, a Z34? I think it's they call it a Z34 or something like that in Japan. And it's a 300ZX that is a police interceptor back in the 80s. And so I modeled it after that. And then I made the cones. He's blocking off an area. There's a gang war going on. Or at least he hints at one. Knock, knock. There is no answer. Grandma must be at the temple. Oh, there was another typo. Typo, Nichan, when knocking on door. Okay. All right. You guys like my follower system? I literally leave like nodes around, and that's what she's walking to, are the nodes. Same thing for the third characters. That's why you can get this cool like follow effect. Anyways, let's go to the temple in the forest. Oh yeah, there's still no music. You know what? We're not gonna play any game music. We'll just let this happen. And there's Grandma. This is where we get introduced to our third character. I have fast forward turned on. I should probably make an icon for that so you know when you're in fast forward. We're just kind of blasting through this. Here's our third character, Hikari. Oh, by the way, our main character never talks. I like that kind of immersion, by the way, where you have a main character that never speaks. The silent protagonist, as they call it. That's why it's going to be weird. They're making a Legend of Zelda movie, and I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so we have more cutscene here. So yeah, I made this whole like narrative controller system, cutscene controller, if you want to call it. So I had a program like walking, how far to walk, facing, turning around, all that good stuff. So there's a big script that just handles these actions, and then all these actions are stored in a big dictionary. So every cutscene is a dictionary, and it just steps through that. Probably one of the bigger scripts in my library here that I've made of all the code and stuff. Also, I know it's in the style of a 2D game, but god damn is my room big. All right, so we once again are setting out. Everybody says the house is strange. Oh, look at that. More typos. God bless America. All right. Have to fix that. Do 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 do. Okay. So I have to fix those typos. So we can end up leaving the house. Also, you guys like how I put the dialogue on top based on where you're at? I learned that from Zelda? Yeah, Zelda does that. Link's Awakening, I believe, does that. I don't know. It sounded like a good idea. Anyways, we're back out here. Oh, look. Something's wrong. I wonder what it could be. It looks kind of silly, but spoiler alert, there's a highway from a different timeline here. Uh-oh, he just revealed the plot that there's timelines. Oh shit, it's over. So then we can just go to the woods. We actually can't even open the menu either. That's being prevented. And then we're gonna go here. Oh, and then we're all walking into the woods. Uh-oh. And now the woods are being distorted. Ah! Oh, I gotta fix that. So he is not appearing. Old man is not appearing in second cutscene for him, aka entering the forest. Well, that's a bug. Okay. This is why we play through the game. So now we have a name for him, even though we can't see him. Although it seems kind of ominous to just have a talking voice, right? He's basically telling us that things that are happening are related to us. And all the cool souls that we can get are coming in to our world because of the distortions going on. And then the device in our pocket, a Wonder Gear pocket. I try to think of a cool, whimsical name for that. I'm like, well, you had the Game Gear. You had the Game Boy. You had the Wonder Swan. You also had the Atari Lynx, but nobody gives a shit about that, right? So I came up with the Wonder Gear pocket. Couldn't call it the Wonder Boy pocket because there's a game, you know, Wonder Boy. So I came up with the Wonder Gear pocket. Ah, and now he does something to our device, and now we can see all sorts of information. And then he gives us our first souls. You have attained a soul of Kelpie, soul of Raiju, and soul of Salamander. Oh, his name is missing. Okay, so I gotta do that. The word name is missing from after you get your first 3 souls. Just adding more bugs to my log of things to fix. That's how I like indicate who's talking, is I have their name up in the corner. And then I don't have any help screens yet. That's on a long off to do list of things. And now we're here. And you guys have already seen this part today. This is like your first dungeon. We can equip souls, which also not only give us our abilities, similar to Final Fantasy VI, we also gain attributes from them upon leveling up, like Final Fantasy VI. But they also have their own attributes that get attached to your character, similar to, well, Persona. There you go. Pulled a lot of inspiration from a lot of my favorite games. Go into a battle here real quick. And we'll just decimate these guys. Let you guys hear a very loud spell. While we also get blasted here. You don't have to hit enter through these parts. It's all kind of automated. Also on my to-do list is going to be an auto battler at some point. Enemies are randomly chosen from along the bottom. Very loud. Sorry. No, I'm awake. See that RNG wiggle on the spell? The monsters have all been defeated. And then we get our cool little XP gain, growth points gained. This is your save spots. Save point detected. So now you can open this up. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I broke it. No! There's a bug. It's okay. I know exactly where we're at. Hang on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought, chat. So I have a bug with, we'll put that in there. Bug with the file system save location. It's okay. Cool thing is we can just fire it up right from here. Idle battler when. My problem is I'd have too much feature creep in that. Way too much feature creep. No, we can't even run. We can't talk either. We'll cast a fireball. Also, our characters are kind of slow. Their speed stat is a little on the load side. Low side. I said load for some reason. Little fireball. Hell yeah. Dead. Ow. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. Oh, I forgot to equip souls. Shit. We're doing, like, bare minimum damage because nobody has a soul equipped. Here, I'll show you guys the bubble spell, which looks eerily familiar to the fireball, but just a little different. Little water ball. Assuming we get to see it. Oh, here we go. Little splash. The bubble. That doesn't look like a bubble at all. Anyway. Yeah, I forgot to equip souls. Let's go ahead and just do that real quick. Gives me a little bit more damage. And it lets us gain XP as well. Remember, you do not gain XP if you do not have a soul equipped. As I said before, that allows you full control over character progression. That's the second time that's happened. Where the menu, for some reason, is partially open. Strange. Plays the sound, but nothing's actually happening, or else it would keep doing it. Now we're just going to walk immediately to the boss. Again, this is first dungeon area. You are meant to farm for the other two characters. Fireball and lightning, or bubble splash. All that good stuff. You do not get them while they are equipped. You actually have to learn them, like Final Fantasy VI. And you're capped out at 6 abilities you can equip at any time. There's your waterfall. That's tier 2 water. Ew. Ooh, see? Now she does a lot more damage because she has a soul equipped. Maybe I'll add a little sound effect there for the XP bars filling. I got... yeah, right at the start of every scene. Let's see here. Okay, that's interesting. So during this... okay, so during... okay, I found out what it is. So I can add that. Bug where menu sounds, then possibly menu actions can be done during level transitions. So at least I know what that problem is now. Okay. It shouldn't be happening at all, but I'm glad I got that figured out. Add it to the list. All right, and then we have our first boss fight. Something's wrong with the temple. It looks all garbaged up. Hint, there's a timeline where nobody's looking after the temple. And there's mention of a soul here. Someone's allowing the areas to change. Just read fast, chat. Okay. Then we have our first boss battle. Again, I don't have any music for this. Now, we kind of want to test somebody dying here, as morbid as that is. Oh, that's a lot of damage. That is not a lot of damage. I was even braced for an impact. Heal thyself, physician. Kind of want Yui or Hickory to go down. Okay. Damn, our main character is so slow. I gotta fix that too. Okay, we don't actually get plus 100, but because we do have an HP cap. Wait, that was weird. Ah. Okay, so we have a bug here. That's interesting. Okay. I gotta add that to the list. Bug when backing out of magic menu in battle could be related to new attack command find next alive function. Because they didn't have this problem before, so it's obviously due to the new code. The new code that checks for making sure everybody's alive. Just have everybody attack. No, stop attacking the main character. There you go. Well, she doesn't really do much damage anyway. Yeah, we'll just finish off the boss. Like I said, it's quite a bit of content. I did fast forward through most of the dialogue. You can also increase speed here as well. See now how the background's going faster? And the spells will also go fast as well. So we'll just cast Waterfall on her. Everything gets sped up. And then she's gone. And then level up. Woohoo! And you get full heal upon level up too. It's one of the few things, well, not few things, but one of the things I really like about SMT games is the full heal. And then this is pretty much the end of where I am at. She also needs to be turned around. Yes, ma'am. Is facing the wrong direction after the boss fight. But there you are, chat. This is basically it. Just more dialogue. And then what needs to happen is a little bit more dialogue where we basically say, hey, let's go back home. We do. And all that good stuff. So then you can continue on to the next scenario. So yeah, this is just in a loop. We would keep going through the boss battle. Because that's where it's at. So. We're also missing the HUD stuff, but that's fine. But I feel like quite a bit was accomplished today. Lots of bugs. It's a lot of scripts, chat. These are all my scripts. That's a lot. Look at this cutscene. Where's my cutscene controller? Dialogue controller. And look at this. This is basically my cutscene controller so far. I think the only thing that might rival this is the battle system controller. 507 lines. Let's look at the battle system script, which doesn't even include everything for the battle. We jump between quite a few scripts. Look at this battle system. 767. Damn. Lots of code. And it's a big project, too. But yeah. That's kind of where we're at with the project, everybody. Hopefully you guys like where that's going. If not, I don't know what to tell you. I do have other projects as well. If we go to quit the project list and Godot, hello, Godot, you're gonna open back up. We also have was it this? I think it was this, and I think I showed it to you guys last time. I'm just waiting for Godot. Why did you go full screen on me? Control Windows Z. 16 by 9. I love this thing. Okay, are you gonna... What the hell? Discard. What the hell? There we go. So then you have this one. Which I'm pretty sure I showed you guys. Oh yeah. This one right here. Just another project, first person style thing. It's kind of alright. We can actually go into world, and it should actually generate the dungeon. Game starto. How you guys like that? You can't even see it. Cool. There you go. I think we can also just resize. It doesn't really resize it. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, I have a few projects I'm working on, and they're all intertwined. So this is also part of Soulseeker. This one I'm kind of excited about finishing because I really like first-person dungeon crawlers, all the old ones and stuff. Then you got a battle. Same idea, but anyways. Yeah. Hopefully everybody had fun today. It is more of a relaxed day. It's kind of like vibing. A lot of YouTube people popped in and out, but do we raid Barry? Who are we raiding, chat? If anybody. How about Wizard? Ugh, ads immediately. No. How do you guys feel about Mario randomizers, maybe? Or maybe we don't raid anybody. I don't know, chat. I don't know. I'm an idiot. You know what? Just raid Caleb. He's doing Mario randos. Mario 64 randomizer One-hit death. So we'll raid Caleb. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Really appreciate Chris. That's what I'm gonna call him in Twitch chat for just hanging out and helping out and giving me an extra set of eyes. He didn't have to do that. I didn't ask him to do that. But I should let you guys know that when I'm doing the dev streams, that you guys are more than welcome to give me an extra pair of eyes. I do not turn it away at all. So we'll raid Caleb. Like I said, he's doing Iron Mario 64 randomizers. They're actually pretty cool to watch. I've been watching them on off for the last few days, and thanks again on YouTube guys watching, and thank you guys for hanging out. And Thursday's the day off. Friday is XCOM and XCOM Files both. So I'll see you guys on Friday with our normal XCOM stuff. And yeah, you guys enjoyed tonight and tomorrow. I'll see you guys later.